So I recently did an interview with Emilzy, but my own mic was muted for the first 8 minutes. After that, I totally talk, so we'll hear me later. But for now, it's kind of like an old school silent movie. Emilzy, the important one, has his mic on. I do not. So without further ado, Emilzy, why don't you introduce yourself since my mic's muted?
I don't know, Smite pro like past retired player and content creator in Smite, I guess. That's yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right? So what even was it? So I got picked up at like that was back in early 2014. They had the weekly tournaments, so they ran the weekly tournaments in EU and NA, and basically just play. And one day, Princess Tomato was going on like a camping trip or something with his school. No, all I remember of Princess Tomato is he bought this like cow onesie or whatever, and he just like jumped up and down on the hotel bed like, in this cow thing, and he's just ready to go party. That was great. That was like my first. That was fun. But yeah, Variety plays now still. He contacted me. He was like, "Hey, we are missing a support player. Do you want to sub in?" I subbed in. We beat TSM, and then we beat Cloud9 in the finals, and we won. And that was like my first ever tournament, and we actually won. That was the first time we won on Worth Gaming. We were called back then. Yeah, I think we played like one more week because Princess Tomatoes is like a long trip, and we finished like third or something. And then after that, they just kind of said, "Well, we want to play with Princess Tomato, but like you played really well, so we're gonna keep you on as a coach." And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude! Like I have nothing else to do, so I'll coach." Oh, I was 13. I'm probably the youngest coach for sure. It's crazy, man. When I told my mom, I just turned 14 before the LAN. It was in the summer of 2014. I was like, "Yo, mom, I'm going to Germany in 2 weeks to play games." And she's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, I really want to go. Can you go with me?" Like, "No, we can't." And then, luckily for me, my granddad, who's been super supportive throughout my whole career, he was like, "We're gonna drive down there. Everything's gonna get reimbursed, and everything is planned out. Worst case, it's like a 10-hour drive. We'll just drive back to Denmark, right?" So he took the chance, and I think he was just kind of really impressed with how it was just everything was planned out and how nice it was. So it was a super big experience for me, just like being there. And as I told you before, my granddad showed me some of the pictures because he took a bunch of pictures from Cologne. And it's just so crazy to see how young we all were. Like I can see Captain Twix, Zeros, Fed, Trix, Tank, Variety. We all look so young. Like everyone is like 16, 17. I'm 13. It's crazy. Like it's been such a ride. I think when I was standing with that check after we got the second place, it was like $25,000, right? They're like, "Oh, this is actually cool." But no, I think another one was so I had my first two lands. My grandaunt went with me. The other one was like the HP Omen challenge in uh in Estonia. The, and that was like crazy as well. And that was with like the whole shot. The whole gimmick was that we were just gonna create like an advertisement for HP Omen, and they had like a Disney production comedy on like with cameras on like fucking train rails, and they had to get the lighting just right to get the reflection in the logos. We had to redo that shot like 500 times, and we were up until like 4 a.m. just shooting. And I think after that, when I came home, they were like, "Okay, this is really, really professional. Like these guys takes good care of you." And then later that year, I've said, "Yo, mom, I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to America." And she's like, she had to talk to my coach, and she talked to some people at Hyras, and just to like ensure my safety or whatever, because I was still 14, 15 back then. And
Yeah.
then I just went on my own to Atlanta on a plane, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean those were definitely crazy days. The HP Omen challenge was a good example of like because we talk a lot about like old high res and new high res. HP Omen challenge happened right in between where it was like professional but like still what the fuck is happening? Because that was a
Yeah.
tournament, but they were like messing with you, right? Like blowing air and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that was crazy.
That was so
And
much fun.
oh man, do you have I have heard some stories about Estonia and how everything went. Do you have any? Do you have any stories
Oh,
from
you mean
that
about
trip?
the about the strip club? Is that what you're trying to get in? That I
Yeah,
didn't
about the
go.
strip.
I didn't go, but
You
I
didn't
think
go.
I think a lot of people just really wanted to go to Estonia. This hotel was insane though. We got at this hotel and it was like the best hotel I've ever been in. It had like best luxury hotel 2017. No, that wasn't even 2017. That was like 2012, 2013. The hotel was insane, and then right across from the hotel is this big ass fucking strip club. And like from the first day, everyone was just talking about how well the legal age is like 16 for drinking in Estonia, so we're all just gonna go there. I was like, I don't think my granddad's like gonna let me go, but have a good time. So that's I think that's pretty much the story you're trying to hint at, right?
Yeah, no, there was I won't say who, but there was a player who tried to borrow 2,000 euro from Hindu Man. He was like
Jesus.
he was like, "Yo, Hindu Man, can I borrow 2,000 euro?" And Hindu Man was like, "Yeah, 2,000? No, go away."
That's wild. That must have been one hell of an offer he got.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy time, but that was the in between. I mean, the early days of high res, we were doing some crazy stuff, but it got a little bit more professional, I think, as time went on, more like
Mhm.
infrastructure, and I don't think they ever really nailed it. Like, they're certainly not, squeaky clean, everything perfect, but it was interesting watching the move as they progressed. Last year, everybody moved to Atlanta. When you heard that announcement, what was your immediate thought?
Fuck no. Like that was literally what happened. And I was just like, okay, guys, well, this is just not gonna happen. There's actually no way that we want this to happen because we're looking at it and with the salaries and everything, and just the first way it was proposed as us that we had to fly there, but we could relocate there and we get like a lump sum of money that we didn't have to spend on the plane, so we could get a nice house or whatever. But
Hmm.
I think everyone was really against it because again, you're talking about that framework, that infrastructure wasn't really there. So what
Right.
we actually did, that was my first thought, right? And then what we actually did is we sat down all the players and we had like 5 demands or something, and we were just like, please do this for us. And Hyros is like, it's really easy to work with them. It's just, I think a lot of times, like the first idea they have is just, come on, man, like it could have been a bit better. But as soon as you pointed out, like they're actually really easy to work with. So we got, I think, 4 or 5 of those demands. It was like, we got a flight home to see a family in the middle of the year. We
That's
got
huge.
1 year contracts instead of 2 year contracts because that screwed over some of the players in season 4, I think. And we got like bi-weekly salaries or something like that. Like we just got a lot of like infrastructure, and we got a grace period or like paid. Like you can't just kick a player and say you're gonna have to leave the house the next day. You got like 14 days paid leave or whatever you want to say if you actually got fired.
That was the biggest thing for me because I had never been involved in like league operations like that, but with respects to like at the end of the year they'd bring in like casters and be like, so this is what next year looks like, and every year it's like, oh, we're gonna, sweet, another tournament, or oh, we're doing that. They're moving to fucking Atlanta. What?
Yeah.
We're fake League of Legends. Okay, and that was a big deal. And that was my immediate. I was like, that's good. Like
Yeah.
that's good. I wanted the players here, more
Hmm.
content, more like, and even just seeing like face cams every game as a fan, like that's so important.
Yeah.
Like I say all the time, nobody gives a shit about Apollo. They care about Barracuda. Like nobody
Yeah.
cares about Kumba. They care about Emilzy. So like seeing you guys was important. But that was my first thought. I was like, so it's a sport. What happens when the jungler sucks and Mollusk has to go home? Like, you
Yeah.
just say like "fuck off." Like that's gotta. And that was one of the biggest things for me was kind of figuring out how that would go. So It's funny though. You guys fought for 1 year contracts, and
Yeah. No,
now
that's
you
that's
wish you had the 2 year.
maybe, who knows.
I'm sorry. I'm rubbing salt in the wound. I'm having fun. I'm having fun here, and we will definitely talk a little bit about that. But no, I mean it's interesting because I think that last year was kind of like one step forward, 2 steps back. Like it was a move in the right direction, but a lot of like shooting themselves in the foot type deal.
Hmm.
And so now that we look here, I mean, it's interesting because you have a storied career. We kind of glossed over chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, but you started as a young kid with a giant notebook and a bunch of strats, and then you wound up leading one of the biggest brands. Pittsburgh Knights was sick, and they call it a super team. That was Emilzy's team for me. I mean, that was your squad that you were like the de facto leader of, and you're going out on a high note.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed it or not. Did you say if you'll be playing like minor league at all or?
I might. It depends. I have some options that I'm going through right now, and it's just I'm kind of seeing where I'm gonna end out. And if I do, I might. But chances are I won't. Like
Yeah.
right now I don't have any plans to do it. But who knows? Maybe mid-May or something. I'll be like, I really miss my. Let's see if I can get on a minor league team. But right now I doubt it.
Yeah, so that kind of leads me to my question because we talked before this and you were like, yeah, man, I haven't even been gaming. I'm just chilling. That leads me because you put out a video talking a lot about some other some other things, but what was why does Emilzy leave the Smite Pro League?
Why?
Yeah.
Emilzy wasn't to talk about myself in third person. He didn't feel like appreciated, and I think just like having that safety of something nice to fall back on or whatever, I didn't feel like that was a thing anymore, and it made me
Sure.
like super burned out. I didn't feel like if we ever had an issue or something, it just didn't feel like the orcs were in a spot where they could actually help us out with a lot of that. I have been really spoiled with my organizations like Obey, when we had them, Energy, and PK have been amazing orcs, right?
Yeah, you actually have had some of the best
Yeah,
org experiences in Smite. Yeah.
for sure. So going from like Pittsburgh Nights, where you have like we literally they would pay us Spotify, they would give us like a food budget, they would give us a transport budget. We had Alex living with us, which made our life so much easier. To going to another org where you just get a raw salary and you get a house and they pay the bills and then good luck with the rest, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, it's like we don't get pension, we don't get healthcare. There's like a lot of things that we don't get to take care of. So if anything was wrong with the house, anything, that's also on us. So I think just that whole like
Really?
devaluation just kind of sucked. Yeah, there was like a lot of the house stuff where obviously with PK it was easy because they had a guy there, but I know other people had like issues with the house and stuff. Where it's just like they told the players, you guys probably got to fix this because the landlord isn't replying or whatever.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, there are some bad landlords this year for sure.
Oh man. So was it like 100% just like bullshit around the around like the team and stuff, or are you kind of? I don't want to put words in your mouth. How do you feel about Smite?
Oh, I think with the current direction it's going with like all the
No, I
orcs
just
alone.
mean like you play. Basically, I want to ask you if you're burnt out, but I don't want to like lead the question at all, like I just
Oh,
did.
okay, yeah. So sorry. Um, I'm not burned out on the game. I'm burned out on like the stress and the whole competitive things that comes with it, and I just don't
Sure.
think it's worth it for me anymore. And there's a lot of stress for living so far away from home as
Yeah.
well. And then the stress of not feeling like you have an orc that actually takes care of you just kind of burned me out. Like I'll still be playing Assault and try and stay involved where I can, but I just feel so relieved now, and I've been so much more happy the past month, just knowing that I'm not gonna play not months, like what it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. It's just
Yeah.
been great.
I mean, competition is tough. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think? I mean, was it just a competitive drive being in there? Because I mean, even following the league like I did, you're there looking at every game, every set, every now I'm like, yeah, I might miss Thursday's game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, like okay, I'll make a video about it later. You know what I mean? Was it just
Mm-hmm.
a competitive drive, or was it like or was it something about the game, or was it just the everything else in between?
Well, when you say something about the game, is it like actual Smite? Like,
Yeah. Where you're just like, man, fuck this invade meta, or
nah, no. I always enjoyed like the different metas and going for that. But yeah, I think it was just the competitive burnout. But I mean, again, I said it in my video as well. If they made a league somewhere close to home and we maybe say we didn't have walks or something, and it would just be like a fun but competitive thing, sure, I'll do it, you know. But
sure.
not across the ocean where I don't feel like I have someone that I can actually trust to take good care of me. That's just not gonna happen.
That's rough. That is a it is a long jump for sure coming all the way over here. So maybe some minor league. You said you'd still be playing like Assault and stuff. I mean, one of my
Yeah.
biggest things that I was always a big fan of was that you always and I you never made excuses. You put out videos, you put out stuff, and you also performed at the best of your fucking position. There's a
Hmm.
lot of people, you're not saying this, I'm saying this, just putting it out there. There's a lot of people that are like, oh man, I can't be a pro and also make content. And I'm like, but we can. And they're like, but we can sucks. And I'm like, but Emilzy. And they're like, all
Yeah.
right. So, what was that? Because I know the content grind. What was that grind like being both a pro player and, I mean, you put out like a video a week, if not more.
No, yeah, like at my peak, I was doing like 2 or 3 videos a day, which was
Yeah.
crazy. It was like when we moved to Spain, I just kind of went all in, even a bit before that, because I dropped out of like school in 2017, like October or something, after we came home from the regionals and we qualified for
Mm-hmm.
Worlds. And then I was like, all right, I just gotta make a lot of content now. So what I'd do is I'd like wake up at 8, then I'd stream till 1, then we had scrims from 2 to 5, and then we had scrims from like 7 to 10, and then I'd like edit my videos from like 10 to 11 and then go to sleep. And that's pretty much like every single day. And the same on energy, right? Maybe I record them also in the night and in the morning because I can't ruin a sleep schedule in Spain. But it was super stressful, man. But I also really enjoyed it because I got a lot of like feedback, and it was really like a rise the whole way. It was such a like growing experience. So I enjoyed it. Like you can definitely be a pro player and do a lot of content. I doubt how be the best. I doubt how much you can like make a lot of money doing it and be the best, because that's like a different kind of effort it takes. Like
Sure.
being someone like Weekend, he lives at home, right? Like he streams what like crazy amount of hours. He has to stream the same time slot every single day. Like there's no excuses. You can't really put out time. That's why YouTube was so much easier for me, because it's
Yeah.
so easy to just record something and I'd literally just have like a video for like a week out, and you just like schedule the uploads. That's what I did. So I can just mass produce my videos because it's like mainly gameplay. And then if it's something super in depth, I'll do it like a few days before or something. But it's a lot easier with YouTube, and you don't make a lot of money on YouTube compared to Twitch, at least not in the
Not
Smite
at all.
system at all. Like I think the my goodbye video, it's like $20 or something. That's
Yeah.
20K views.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what like not that's like 8 subscribers on Twitch, you know.
Yeah, the I always oversimplify it by saying you grow your brand on YouTube, like 30,000 people will watch the
Mm-hmm.
video, and you'll make $2, like $20 and 57 cents, and then
Yeah.
you'll have like only 100 viewers on Twitch, but that's where you make your money.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's just the overall grind. One question I had about the content creation stuff, because I get this a lot from me, is did making content make you better at Smite? Like, did teaching help you at all as a
Yeah.
player, or did it
Yeah.
take away?
Nah, it helped me. People have said it's weird, but I've always been of the philosophy like if I tell someone what I think could be meta breaking or whatever, I feel like I did a lot of videos, at least in the start, that were pretty controversial. Was like, this is why the war chalice sucks, or like, this is why Golden of Thieves is the best item. This is why you should buy Emperor's Armor, or whatever. And those videos, people kind of eventually came to the conclusion, okay, he might be right, he might be wrong. But if I'm putting my knowledge out there, where I feel like I'm ahead, that means that other people are going to catch up, and then I'm constantly forcing myself to get ahead of the curve. And I think that's what helped me so much, especially on Obey. A little less on Energy and pretty much not too much on PK, because I didn't do too much content this year with the whole move and everything. But back on Obey, that's really what like I think drove me to be one of the most innovative and like best players in that season. But yeah, so I think content can help you if you do the right content. Like if you just upload your ranked gameplay, that's not going to help you. But what I would do is I would literally watch back my SPL games. I'd do a series called In Hindsight. I'd watch back every single SPL game. I'd be like, this is what I did right. This is what I did wrong. This is what I'll do next time. And I just explained it. And explaining something is literally, for me at least, it's the best way of learning. If I have to explain something I already know to someone else, it makes me understand it a lot better. So yeah, if you do the right content, it'll grow you as a player for sure.
I'm exactly the same way. A lot of people are always like, "Well, you're giving your like strats away," but it puts
Yeah.
your brain in like such a different like. A lot of times, well, when I was with the casters, we would have like a 2 hour meeting. Like when during downtime, people are like, "What do casters do?" We just have a 2 hour meeting, and it'd be like, "So what are we doing in this meeting?" We're just like talking about the league, or like about and like Hindu Man or Aggro would be like, "Here's a statement about a team." And I'm like, no, that's fucking bullshit. But having that like thought process and bring it down is real important for like kind of, I think, developing that sort of thought process. So that was really cool for me. By the way, big fan of In Hindsight. That is like the ideal. I wish we could get more stuff like that, not just in Smite, but I mean, I'm watching like the Rocket League Worlds, and I'm like, I would love to hear the team talk about their game after
Yeah.
that, you know, and like
Mm.
that's kind of what I want to see in esports. So, as you are a retiree now, no longer, what what's on the future for Emilzy? I mean, are you playing other games competitively? Is that a thought?
Nah. Well, I have a really interesting option right now. It's like a completely new thing that has been made here in Denmark. I got an interview. I'll get an answer back next week if I'm gonna go get into that or not. If I don't, I might apply again because it's like I think they take like 5 people in a year, and there's a lot of applicants. So I'm hoping to get in, but you'll never know. If that doesn't work out, I'm really lucky because one of my good friends asked me to move in like in the big city where you go to university and stuff, and then I'll just go there, do school. Since
Oh,
I
yeah.
dropped out, I'm a few years behind, but I'll catch up and then probably just go to university. I'm thinking computer science or something like that. I mean, outside of like in my spare time, I'll try and stay involved. I haven't really decided on what capacity, but right now I have no intention on like doing the whole competitive thing. I'm a very competitive person, so I'll be
You're not going to play
competitive.
Rainbow Six next week.
Nah, no, I'm I'm gonna be competitive in other aspects of my life, but for now, gaming is gonna be a chill thing I can sit back and relax with. So I'm really really happy with that.
Music? You gonna be a rock star? I see the guitar in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of started to look a bit like a chair now. Nah, I don't know. I can't sing. My guitar skills are like decent at best. I remember every time back on Obey, I would play Happy Birthday for the boys and sing it when it was someone's birthday. And Maniac literally told me, if you bring that ukulele or guitar to LAN, I'm literally gonna destroy it. So I don't think music. It's really big in my family. My sister is really really good. So is my whole family, but I'm just the disabled person when it comes to music in this family. So yeah,
Oh
no
man.
music for me, no mixtapes or anything. I can't do it, man. I wish.
Oh man, it's funny though. Like I said, a long time in Smite. Do you have like a top five moments or so? Just what were your favorite moments of the whole? Because I mean, you talk about like you're a couple years behind, but you're going to go back to college, and that's kind of
Mhm.
what I've been trying to like tell people is that like, look, if you go to college at 18 and graduate at 22, or if you go to college at 25 and graduate at 28, but you have 6 years of this video game career, that's an awesome chapter. That's an awesome
Yeah,
story to
no,
tell.
for sure.
If you never do gaming again, and you're just like a dad that works at you're like, hey, I remember when I was a pro gamer, and you're like, that's a cool story.
Hmm.
So, with this giant chapter of your life, what are some of the best moments, some of the best stories you've got? Because I'm sure you've got a bunch.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I mean, some of my best stories. It's kind of more so for the last years, where I felt like it's been like the better years. I think one of my biggest moments was back on Obey. Energy had just won the second World Championships. They were like undefeated for what, more than a year or something.
Yeah.
They had never lost a game, and we were the first game. I was the new support on Obey. We played them in the first game of the spring split, and there was so much pressure on, right? Because Obey, we really wanted to beat them because we kind of wanted revenge from the World Championship finals, and obviously Energy wanted to continue their reign. And Attraction and I, we double killed Emilzy and Irafer before the minions even spawned, and that was like me playing Amaterasu, which was literally my signature card, you know. So that was
Yep.
really a big moment for me. I think another one was winning the spring land. So I kind of have five lined up. The spring land with Obey, we were like down 2-1 in the finals to Dig. Then we beat them. We played Energy in the quarters, Rival in the semis, and then finally Dig, and we won that. And just that being like my first big tournament win was like super huge. Fast forward, Energy just literally winning the MSI was insane. That was such a cool experience, and that was the when I felt like the most dominant because we literally 3-0 rival twice, and I felt like okay, we're genuinely the best right now,
Yeah.
and that's really cool because that just showed to me that living together and all that like really paid off. So I was really happy with that. This year, I think my best memories is like we had a point where we beat Renegades 3-0 in the spring split, and at that point I just felt like okay, we are on top again, you know. And then I guess finally just beating Dick, like at least one game in the quarterfinals in front of my family, playing Amaterasu again. for the first time in forever. It was just like such a nostalgic moment. It was almost like deja vu to some of my biggest career wins, you know.
I feel that.
So I feel like it was a really nice way to end off. Even though we lost that game, I'm definitely happy with the way it turned out. So I think those are like my top 5 moments for sure.
Man, you're such a fucking pro. You had 5 moments, right? Man.
Yeah, no, I thought about it the other day. It's funny to say because it's like, what are my best moments? Those are probably the 5 best
I
moments.
definitely expected a little like, oh man, I don't know. No, you were like, all
Nah,
right,
nah,
this game we're up 2-1. I like that. Like I said, you're a consummate professional when it comes down to the screen stuff. I mean, hey, after every interview we've ever done, I've always been like, damn man, you killed it. Like, you'd be
Thank you.
surprised how many pros don't kill it in the interview.
That's
So
we all different, man. Some of us we do some stupid shit sometimes, but then we might be good at interviews. You know, there's always a trade off.
so that's always how it works, man. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm already thrilled that you decided to, say yes when I asked you to do one of these because this is, like I said, I mean, you were one of the biggest faces in Smite Man. Well, one of the, you're a small guy, but one of the biggest hearts and brains
Yeah,
in the scene for sure. So I think it's been real cool kind of watching you do your thing. And then in all honesty, like it's been an absolute pleasure. So we're both kind of walking in,
Yeah.
yeah, we're both kind of moving
Crazy,
on,
man.
and it's kind of wild to think about after all this time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been such a ride, and just I feel like a lot of people just kind of moving on now, which makes it feel a bit better in a way, which is kind of bad but good at the same time. You're like, I'm leaving, F.dot's leaving. Some other pros are doing the same thing. It just
Art's back.
Bart's back, which is goddamn it, dude. I love that dude. And now I leave. Are you
Yo,
kidding me?
yo,
Like, is
exactly.
APC and Dan are coming back as well next year or something? I'm just like, all right, I guess I have to play.
We'll see, man. But is there anything else? As always, the floor is yours before we go.
No, I mean, as I always say, I just wanted to thank the fans more so than anything. Just everyone out there that has like made it possible for me to live my dream for these past 5 years. I've been so grateful for that, and I hope no matter what, I hope you continue supporting the league so other people can have the same great experiences as I've had, because they definitely deserve that. And I'm just so grateful for your support throughout all the years. So thank you.
Elegantly said, and honestly, I echo every single sentiment that you just put out there. So again, thank you for your time, man, and
You're welcome.
good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you.
Boom, 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 boom. Peace.